Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life, and in this video we're going to be talking about what your ex really craves, and we're going to be discussing specifically 3 things that actually draw them closer to you. So let's go ahead and get right on into this. Now, the first thing that your ex really craves through this whole breakup experience is really understanding. Now, there are a lot of different levels that you could show them understanding at. They may want understanding for the reasons that are causing them to want to break up with you, what wasn't working in the relationship, how they're feeling, stuff like that. They also may want understanding for where they're at emotionally right now, maybe confused, maybe upset, maybe hurt, maybe angry, maybe something else entirely, I don't know. But through all of this, if you can demonstrate to your ex that you are really trying to understand them, then that is going to be a very helpful thing for you if you want to get back together with them or rebuild the connection with them in some form or other. There are a lot of things that people may do that sort of inadvertently show their ex that they don't understand them. Probably the biggest one is that they have some sort of agenda of trying to get their ex to take them back. Now, I get it. Many people want to get back together with their ex, but if you make it so that your ex sort of feels as if they are a means to an end of helping you feel better, that's to say you're going through this breakup, your ex broke up with you, you want to get back together with them so that you can feel better, that is not going to show them understanding. That's going to show them that, hey, I get it, you're having some sort of emotional experience right now. I don't really care about that. I just want us to get back together so that I can feel good again. And that is the exact opposite of what you want to be showing them at this point. What you want to do is you want to let go of that agenda and simply just focus on them. Focus on understanding them. Focus on understanding where they're coming from, what their experience is, and all of that. And if you think about it, this is probably how the two of you organically connected in the first place. The two of you had some sort of connection. You weren't necessarily trying to force some sort of relationship. You just thought, hey, this seems like an interesting person. Let's go out on a date or two. And looks like we have a few things in common. It seems like they're attractive. Seems like they might be attracted to me. Let's start seeing each other a little bit more. Okay, great. After, a few dates, several dates, whatever, you actually have the conversation about being in a relationship with one another. And thus the relationship organically came from the connection. That is how most relationships start. That is how I recommend you do go out there and start dating new people if you are in a place where you're trying to date new people. Not that you go into a first date and say, okay, let's do this. Are you my boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever? Let's plan this out. When are we getting married? What are our kids' names going to be? I think we all know that that's not the ideal first date behavior. But so many people interact with their ex in this way, and that is why a lot of problems happen. So we want to pull back the expectation, pull back the pressure, and instead just strive to understand and empathize with where your ex is at emotionally. And when we can show them that we really get where they are at, then they are going to feel much, much more comfortable interacting with us in a more positive way, okay? By the way, if you like these videos, please hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. It does help us out, so go ahead and do that. The second thing that you can do to draw your ex closer to you, and something that your ex actually craves, is really spaciousness. Now, we talked a little bit about this whole idea of an agenda, of trying to get back together. And if you have this agenda, it's going to come across as actually narrowed and constrictive. And that's the opposite of spaciousness. Whereas spaciousness, on the other hand, is like, okay, I have my desires, I have things that I want, but I'm okay if things don't go that way. Spaciousness, we've talked about this in our courses such as Effortless Connection and with our coaching program, our Commit coaching program. But spaciousness is really just a matter of, can you just be okay to listen to whatever your ex is asking for, not necessarily just automatically agree with it and say like, yeah, I'll do whatever you want, I'll do anything, please just let me spend time with you. Again, that kind of looks like an agenda. But if you can just be emotionally okay with it and sort of reluctantly go along with it. We've talked about this in other videos, but basically this would look like, okay, so you want me to move on, is that it? Okay, well, just so we're clear, if we move on, I might start dating other people. Is that okay with you? Oh, okay, it is. Well, if I start dating other people, just so you know, I might actually end up in a relationship with one of those people, and they might not feel good about me being in contact with you the way that I am. Is that okay with you if we might have to stop talking at some point? Oh, it's not. Okay, well, da-da-da-da. And then you can take it on that sort of tangent. But if you're reluctantly going along with what they say and you're emotionally okay with this and you're just genuinely curious about all of this and what their experience is and what they want and all of that, then you're going to be able to communicate that spaciousness if you don't have an agenda. When you are doing this and when you are sort of reluctantly going along, you're actually allowing them to sort of set the pace for things. And this is actually important because they need to, in a lot of ways, feel as if they are in control. The reason for this is because if they believe that they're losing you, if they're giving up on you, if you're somehow distancing yourself from them or something like that, and they believe that they are in control, then that empowers them to reverse that decision at some point in the future. It's much easier to say like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you're dating someone else and that makes me feel jealous. That makes me feel like I'm losing you. That makes me feel like my window of opportunity is closing, but it's only because I sort of thrust you out there, and that thus I feel more empowered to change that. Plus, it also allows them to bear the weight of whatever may or may not happen between the two of you. So, that is to say, if they choose to not get closer with you and they choose to, I don't know, just stay in a rebound relationship with someone who isn't that great for them or whatever, but it's convenient or something like that, then they have to bear that weight and risk potentially reaching the end of their life, looking back on their life and saying like, hey, you know what? I stayed in this relationship out of convenience and I missed out on the opportunity to connect and be with someone that I really felt this connection with, like my ex. Is that something that I feel good about, or do I have regrets about this? And if they do have regrets about it, or if they imagine that they might have regrets about it, then that can be an inspiration or a motivation to, get off of whatever they're on and to actually say, okay, let's just deal with this. Let's figure this out. Let's somehow connect with one another. Let's figure out how we fit into each other's lives and all of that. So that's really, really important. By the way, while we're here talking, I just wanted to let you know that on Thursday, April 29th, I'm going to be doing a live stream question and answer session in our Embodied Love Facebook group. You can go ahead and find a link for that in the description for this video, or if you are just listening to this in audio form on a podcast or something like that, just go over to Facebook and look for the Embodied Love workshop by Modern Love, and that is us. Go ahead and join it. But we're going to be doing that live stream Q&A at 2 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, April 29th. Okay, so please go ahead and check that out. Anyway, the third thing that your ex craves that will draw them closer to you is a positive future. They want to know that they're moving into a positive future. They want a positive future for themselves. But that doesn't mean that you just have to give to them. They want to be able to see that tomorrow is going to be better than today. And whenever they're interacting with someone or dating someone or considering someone as a relationship prospect, then they are considering having that person sort of come into their world and also themselves stepping into that other person's world. And so it's really important that you're able to paint a positive future for them to experience with you. Now, there are many ways that you can do this. Obviously, you can connect with them. Obviously, you can bond with them. Obviously, you can form an emotional connection with them and all that stuff. We've talked about this extensively in many videos, specifically in our video series on advanced relational skills. You can find that right up there in the video card. But you can also do this by actually living your best life, doing things that are meaningful to you, doing things that are important to you, doing things that are in alignment with your values, whether that is, I don't know, really going for it with your career, starting that business, getting in shape, getting healthy, traveling the world. I know it's 2021, but you can travel some places, or planning to travel, when things get back to normal and all that stuff. This is important because chances are you and your ex share some sort of similar values. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have gotten together. But you probably share at least some similar values. So as you start to live into your values, you'll probably start to be more exciting for them. And if they start to see you doing interesting things, really going at it, really doing whatever is important for you, starting that art career of yours or whatever, they're going to think that that is really interesting. And by interacting with you, you're going to actually be able to pull them into your world. And if them stepping into your world is a positive benefit to them, that's going to be another good reason for them to actually want to get closer to you and want to get back together with you. In addition, of course, to the emotional connection and all of that stuff that we've talked about already. So it's really important that you are able to create a positive future for them to step into. I know that a lot of people going through breakups are maybe kind of depressed, maybe sad, maybe just don't feel like anything in their life is working out. But if nothing else, for your own sake, you gotta shake that off. And when you are ready, go through whatever emotional healing you need to do, all that stuff. If that is where you're at, we do have our course called Emotional Freedom. Go through whatever emotional healing you need to do, and then move your life in a positive, strong direction forward. If nothing else, it's going to set you up in a great place to live your best life. But additionally, if your ex sees this and if they actually have similar values to you, they're going to see this and they're going to think, wow, this is amazing. This is cool. I want to be a part of that too. And that's going to be another reason for them to want to get closer to you. So anyway, I hope this has helped you out. Once again, thank you so much. Please take care, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Or maybe I'll talk to you on Thursday, April 29th at 2 p.m. Pacific time over in that Facebook group live stream. Take care.